Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the October meeting of the Binghamton Traffic Board. First item of business is approval of the minutes from the September 12th, 2021 meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. I think we have one presenter that brought some plans. And let me pass these out. Want to take one and then I can pass it this way. This is on Ridge Street. If you recall at a previous meeting, it was determined that some type of stamped engineered plans would be needed for break and access for a property. And if you want to step up and kind of discuss what's here. And I know that there may be some additional checks, but probably today we can facilitate at least traffic board one way or the other.
Thank you.
That microphone's on.
Okay. So we purchased 80 Ridge Road, 80 to 84 Ridge Road a few years ago with the intent of building our home. We do have stamped engineered plans for our home. It was asked of us that we present these plans to you for the driveway. Currently, all the accessible points to our property have a guardrail covering it. There is a logging road that goes through the property, and there's a small break in the guardrail that I can drive a small four-wheel drive vehicle down. So we'd like to, in that area, make it our driveway to enter our property and so we can commence building our home.
Okay. And, from a traffic board perspective, I think, what's been provided and you can, if anyone needs, higher resolution, I'm sure that at some point,
Yes.
the building department will have to, take a look, but, from what traffic board had requested was kind of exactly this, is a local engineering firm. Looks like IBI provided these, they're
Yeah.
stamped in terms of safety and everything. I know that that's probably a very low traffic road.
Yes.
As well. Does anyone have any kind of questions on this?
What is that slope on the driveway? Where is our road?
What is the current slope on the driveway?
What will be the slope?
Honestly, I had them draw up the plans and I am looking at them probably for the first time with you. So, and again, resolution was a thing you had mentioned. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. 20% slope is what they have indicated on the plan that you can't see currently. But I can see it if I pull this plan up on my phone and enlarge it. So bear with me as I'll try to answer any questions I can on my.
And Ron, if you have any further kind of clarifying questions, if the board's okay with it, I'd like to see if we can, approve it in concept and then as a follow-up, just to make sure that engineering reviews it. Obviously, we have a stamped plan here, so I think just to not delay that another month, for you, especially with the
Sure.
weather. Does that kind of make sense to everyone? Okay. So I will take a motion to approve the curb cut, and the parcel address is 88 Ridge Road or
It's
80?
80 to 84. We bought two lots.
Okay.
So our address encompasses 80 to 84 Ridge
Okay.
Road.
So it'd be a motion to approve a new curb cut as presented at 80 to 84 Ridge Road. And do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
Keith Ryan makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And Merkel seconds. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and we can add to that a stipulation of, pending just high resolution review by
Sure.
the city engineering.
City
department.
engineer, thank you.
So from a traffic board perspective, that settles that, and you can again, we can send some things over high resolution to engineering.
Sure.
And then certainly if you need to pull any building permits, that's handled through that office.
Excellent, very good. When I do approach engineering, will they ask me if we spoke, and how will I represent that to them?
Mr. Lake is the city engineer.
Yes.
So he sits on the board, so
Okay.
he'll be well-versed and aware of
Okay,
our discussion.
excellent. Thank you for your time.
Just drop it off at the office.
I will. All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
And appreciate you coming back
Yes.
this month.
thank you. We're eager to get building. So,
Thank you. Okay. Next on the list of BMTS, excuse me, the North Street walking tour.
So Dan participated, Ron was there, Franco, and a number of residents from North Street area. So we did the walking tour the last week in September. I think we pointed out quite a few things. A lot of them were pavement markings that are missing out there, crosswalks, things like that, some signage, some that's worn. Lee McCullen from our office is putting together the report. And she said she'd have a draft next week for the city to review.
Okay. Like we did on the south side that one time, right? Okay. Very good. Thank you. The Deco District, the State Street information. I'm still waiting on some information from them.
Okay, we haven't got, Dan was just talking to you about that. We haven't gone out to look at that, but we will. I got the information you sent back. So if
Okay.
there's anything else?
Yeah, because we're talking about, do we have a linear,
Yeah,
which they say was included, but I wanted to connect you guys to see if
yeah,
exactly,
okay,
okay.
so we can probably go out next week, maybe.
Yeah.
and Look at that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that works. 29 Gaylord Street, handicap parking zone.
Yeah, 29 Gaylord Street. We had a request from a Janelle Generelli. I don't know if she called in or not. She said she was going to. She had a request to have her handicap sign put in front of her residence there. Myself and Officer Miller went up to that residence, met with her. And basically what it is, a shared driveway that they have at that residence. Hers is fenced off with a gate across the front of it. When they park the car there, they open a gate and to park the car so it's not sticking out over the sidewalk, which if it was, it would be a violation. In the meantime, though, Ms. Generelli, had some surgery and had a remember what she had. She had a power pack put in the back, and she has a health problem where she has a simulator that she carries with her. And so when she gets in and out of the car now, the way they park the car, it bangs either against the house if she's driving or against the fence. And so the request is based on the fact that she needs, room to get out of the car. In reviewing the area, her request seems to be plausible. However, we thought maybe another alternative would be maybe to move the gated area back from where it is right now, about probably going to be like maybe 8 or 10 feet. And it would be to where the house comes out, jettisons out from the porch area. And it would allow the car then to have access to pull all the way off the street and into the property. It'd be an expense to them to do it, but other than that, for her to get in and out of the car, it's going to be difficult for her to do that. So the request, like I said, it's possible, but it's it's an alternative. There is an alternative. Other than that, I think the only other alternative would be to, give her the request that she's making.
I don't know if Miss Generelli is on the line. If you ask to unmute yourself, I'm not sure who's on the line. The setup sounds a bit,
Here's a picture of the house. As you can see, it's the
Okay.
brown house there. There's the gate across the front driveway. And if they pull up to the gate, like I said, the car sticks out over the sidewalk and they can't do that. So they have to open the gate to enter to the property. So they pull a car in part way. To get to the back of the house, I guess it's difficult for them to get to the back of the house. The way the gated area is, that's a very narrow driveway.
the other thing I'm thinking here is in terms of, a fence, in terms of property setbacks, et cetera. I'm wondering how this fence ever got sort of approved, but. that
We
may be
went on
something-
the map site and actually the fence was back there and I think 2012, I think was the first. I think it was 20,000, probably can't remember, but it shows the previous pictures of the house, the previous years. It was several years ago so it's been there for quite a while. I don't know how long the fence has been there. I didn't inquire on that, but it's been more than just recently. It's been, probably more than 10 years anyhow.
I think one of the things we can do is maybe refer this to the zoning to take a look at that fence. Especially if, you've got the swinging gate, which doesn't allow a car to be parked without going over the sidewalk, so.
Okay.
I would make a referral to the zoning department.
Okay.
And then we can pick it up at the next meeting.
So is this basically a self problem?
It's possible, yes. Possible.
Okay, do you have a copy of the IDC on that? You want that as well?
Hold on to that for right
Okay.
now, and then we can revisit it at the next meeting. Okay, 140 Court Street, or excuse me, at 1209 Vestal Avenue.
Yeah, 1209 Vestal Ave. We got a request from Sharon Elliott. She owns a property at 1207 Vestal Ave. She had an easement agreement with the city for parking at 1209 Vestal Ave. I guess she turned over the rights of the property there at 1209 Vestal Ave to the city, but she used to maintain 6 parking spaces for her tenants at that location. And what's happening, she says, is that people up in the bank and the other businesses down where the new plaza opened there where the behind number 5 restaurant used to be, people are parking in those spaces. And these are the questions that she's asking. Can the city post more for individual prohibited parking sign? Can the city mark the pavement as tenant parking only? Can the city enforce prohibited parking violations? And can the city tow the violators? The first question, can the city post more individual prohibited parking signage? The original easement agreement allows the city to post post signage for parking for her tenants. The city has done that with 2 prohibited parking signs with arrows on them pointing towards each other for the 6 spaces. So the city met its obligation there. Can the city mark the pavement as tenant parking only? Apparently, in the easement agreement, it also indicates that, it can be marked, but it was never marked. So the planning department says that it met its agreement, and therefore we, since we have the signage up there, we're probably not really obligated with the tenant parking paved markings on the road. And because this is an easement agreement, the roadway, the parking is on technically private property. We can't enforce it, even though it's still city property. It's an agreement that the property belongs to parking to the tenants. And therefore, excuse me, the city can't tow the vehicle for the violators. So at this time, the city met its obligation. The planning department feels, and if Miss Elliott wants to post the additional signage, she can do it at her own expense, or paint the markings on the ground for tenants only.
Okay, so that looks like the matter is closed then. Is that correct?
Yeah, she was also going to listen in this morning, but I don't know if she did either. So,
Yeah,
you know,
no one's unmuted here, so, okay. We'll mark that item as closed. 140 Court Street.
yeah, 140 Core Street, Rolando's Diner. I'm not going to say Lou's last name because they can never pronounce it correctly, but from Rolando's Diner, making a request to have the parking the parking change from the 8 hours that it presently is down to 2 hours. Back when the parking meters were taken out and the kiosks were put in, the parking zone has never changed in the traffic code book. It was always left at the 1 hour zone that it used to be. But the meters were taken out, and so really, I guess that if we could make the change to what he's asking, just enforce it that way, that it would resolve his concern. However, I guess the scanners that they're using are for 8 hour zones. So therefore, would have to change the scanners or change the controls in the scanners to be able to allow 1 hour parking, or
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is, the downtown parking, it's really, we have to look at it in its entirety, not
Mhm.
as a set of specific
Mhm.
blocks or zones. So the entire purpose of having the kiosks and raising the rates as we did a couple years ago was to increase availability. So I know that there's further down the block on Court Street, free parking, not that far away, on the other side of Carroll Street, I think.
Mhm.
So, to make one kind of change for one business, we're talking about an entire downtown parking system that we're currently enforcing and looking at. So,
yeah, this actually isn't one business. It's actually includes Alex Mart, Kevin Guyette's law firm, all those businesses right along that one section there. All of them have signed the petition. I'm sorry, the traffic court application for the request.
Yeah.
And I guess the only other thing is, I guess downtown where the CVS store in that area is, there is a 2 hour zone down there. And they have to switch the scanners to enforce, when they enforce the parking in that area, that they have to switch the scanners, the way I understand it, to change to that enforcing regulation over there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if something that would be interested in doing for that area or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think, going back to the parking study, and obviously it's changed over the years, but in terms of demand, that block of Court Street is really was not one of the heavier parked areas. So we have a system in place right now where folks, if they want to park for 3 hours, they can, but they have to pay for it. I wouldn't want to do anything piecemeal. I think, in a couple of years, probably time for the city to do another parking study, and after the 10-year mark of the last one. So I don't see anyone, right now we can kind of monitor it and see, but my understanding was, when the diner was open previously and the kiosks were in place, we didn't hear any issues. So anyone have any thoughts or feelings? Any ideas?
The only thing that may be worth mentioning, the residential apartment spaces have changed down there in the last few years, and there are more BU students living down in that general area or further east on Court Street. So I don't know if that's contributing to the problem or a higher number of cars parked in that area for all day or duration.
Maybe we can make it an emphasis of enforcement just in the next couple of weeks and see if it's, again, cars that are being left there all day or
Sure.
paying customers. So why don't we have that as a next step, increase enforcement, and we can get back in touch with the original applicant and keep it on the agenda for the next month. And see
Okay.
what we get. And Nate, you just get back to us on, here's what we did and here's how many tickets. 38 Holly Street, I thought that was not going to be on a traffic board agenda anymore. It was really an engineering
Okay,
question.
I think that the part that is being concerned with is that Dan Collins, with regards to his handicap access to City Hall. Do we want to change the way the parking's set up down there for the handicapped people? Or do we just continue to let it be as is? He has trouble getting out of his van down there. I think that's what his concern is. He's in a wheelchair, and when he pulls up the park, his access is from the passenger side, coming out the side of his van to get to the sidewalk, and because there's fencing down there. I think that's the only reason that I kind of left it on the.
We've been looking at that
Okay,
and we will come up with a solution. But it's not going to be an easy one.
sure.
I was kind of hoping when they were working out here on the vaults, they might destroy that handicap ramp,
hmm
give us a head start.
Okay.
But we will come up with a solution for it.
Yeah, I think for the time being, engineering will bring back, we have to do any changes to the traffic code, but it's going to be a engineering and plan solution as opposed to something
Okay.
that's handled at these tables.
Is it possible if he's coming to City Hall, if he could buzz it and park on the first one of that? Then he could- He comes here regularly, I don't know.
Yeah. When I say City Hall, I guess I can talk about government complex.
Well, the
I-
whole
yeah,
complex,
yeah,
would it
yeah.
be possible for him to buzz in and say, yes, that's what happened and park out here because then he has to-
Yeah, if he has a specific, there's someone on the line here.
until something gets resolved out front. I don't know if that would be
Yeah.
an option. They would like to do it.
There's
Yeah,
a specific for van access, I guess, as opposed to a standard handicap spot.
The way it is now, there is no fan access.
Okay,
And the ramps are dangerous.
Okay.
So we've got to make a change. We've looked at a couple of options and they don't work, so we'll keep going.
okay.
It probably doesn't happen like every day or all the time, but I mean, maybe. Some that you could- they'll let them in if you need. I don't know.
Yeah, so would that be Broome County Security that had to be notified of that?
Yeah, but I think it's an engineering, there's nothing that the traffic board can do at this time, so it'll have to be figured out through the city engineering department.
If we need to remove planters, that can be a real problem.
Uh, EFC might have some questions about it, so. Okay. All right, so we'll mark that as, off the agenda for next month and engineering continuing to take a look at it.
Yes, we will.
36 Fellows Avenue.
Yeah, 36 Fellows Ave. Right now, that's just being studied. I guess there's a little bit of confusion with the DPW a couple days ago with the posting of signage. At this time, we received a request from Albert Ra making a request for no parking up in that area, Fellows Ave at Whiting Street. It's a dead end area. It's up where the water tanks are for the city. I guess the city tanks. up on the east side. And uh, basically, what's happening, Mr. Ross says, is that the garbage trucks, when they come to collect garbage, cars are parked up there. There's a problem, but really, there's no cars ever parked up there. But the secondary problem is snow plows. That's the main problem. And he indicates that when the snow plows come up there to dump the snow, they just plow to the end there. There is a house just outside the city. As you go up Fellows Ave, north end of Fellows Ave, that uses that roadway. Mr. Roth uses that roadway. There's a couple other houses up in that area. And so we looked at it, and we were going to have the DPW review it for their garbage truck, but maybe making the turns if there's a problem with turns and for the snow plowing. We haven't heard back yet if the measurements that we would like to see up there are going to work for them. And then what we wanted to do is, after that, we wanted to go and reach out to the residents to see if that was going to be a problem for them, the measurements for the no parking zone. So really, it's still in the study stage yet, but I guess the DPW did try to go up there and start putting the signs in before it got to the traffic board. So one of the residents up there was very angry that we're trying to put signs up there, so it was halt. So nothing's being done up there right now, but basically the idea is to for this, Mr. Roth's concerned for the snow plows and then for the garbage collection. And once we find out if these measurements work for the DPW, then we'll do a survey of the residents up there, which is only a few, and go from there. Okay, so still in the hold stage.
Livingston Street. Did that happen on the 27th?
No, the neighbors never got back to me.
Okay.
Kind of left it with him, like he was available to do it. I can touch base with him again, but he hasn't. Get back in touch with us because when we previously looked at, I think there was anything that the city has been
Mhm.
about that. But if you want, I can talk to you again.
Yeah, I sort of left it at, I explained that as well.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't heard from them.
yeah, again, I don't think we need to have it on the necessarily traffic board agenda moving forward. Just a meeting can happen and go from there. Have any add-ons?
Yeah, 121 Fairview Ave, Dan Grassy, who made the original complaint about the area up there where the recovery center is for alcoholics. Apparently, we left a message for him that we're not going to take any action up there to change the parking situation up there for the nighttime employees as well as the recovery house there. If they get visitors up there, he wanted from the last meeting, if guests wanted to go up there to meet with the patients up there, or if employees who work at nighttime, they wanted to park. He didn't want any overnight parking out there at all because he was like a disturbance to him. It had nothing to do with the parking or driving situation, just more of a noise issue, he said. And so we left a message to tell him that because there was really not a parking issue type concern that he had, that we're going to, let the signage remain as is. Well, he called back, but we've been playing phone tag here and we never got back to each other. So I don't know what this call is going to be about, but I guess that I just wanted to leave it hanging a little bit. I don't want to put it on the agenda, but until I find out what he wants, what his concern is, or maybe he doesn't understand what we're trying to get across to him.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.